Hello and welcome to the 65th Special Moves podcast. My name is Mike Williams. That's Jake Kulkowski, who helped me out in the intro. And that's Liam, who sat there silent, letting me flail around like a fool.
He just never doubted you.
No, that's
I just
that's
don't
what it
want
is.
to interrupt.
Silent confidence.
Reassurance.
And he knew that you had it as well. He was like, no, Jake's got this. Jake's going to cover it.
Yeah. Liam is
What am I
calm
gonna-
reassurance personified.
What am I going to add to the situation at that point?
He's playing
Too many
healer.
cooks.
He's playing support, and he's buffing us with...
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, what the fuck was that? This is a gaming podcast. We're talking about some gaming stuff today. We've got a pretty big PlayStation leak that's kind of been confirmed. PlayStation 5.
Yeah, that's stupid enough to be true, I reckon.
Yeah, very detailed. And it was kind of this thing that was leaked a while ago, but it was, it's sort of been more recently corroborated. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Talk about what we've been playing. Got some really good emails.
Oh, wicked.
No, they're nice. They're genuinely good.
I
Some
wasn't
nice
being
emails.
sarcastic. I'm in a good mood, you know. And do you know what as well, yeah? I listen back to I don't normally listen back to our podcast. I listen to Podcast 64 because all the comments are like suspiciously nice.
Yeah, a
Like,
lot
do
of
you know what I
people
mean?
said, we
It
got
was
an
a bit-
email saying it was the best one.
Yeah, I know. I don't get it. It started off talking about roughage. Then we're talking about just some nonsense. N64, who cares? And
I don't know. What's really troubling me is I don't know what the secret source was there. I don't know
that's
what
the thing.
we were
That's
for us
exactly
to
it.
exploit.
So I listened
you know?
back to it and I was like, it makes people
pleasant.
happy, and it made me feel very good. And
Yeah.
we're recording this late, and it's night time. It's very late.
Well, listen, we've just had a chicken and leek bake.
We just had some food, and I'm thinking,
cooked
let's
for us by Laura.
shouts out Laura. And now I'm thinking, let's get straight into it with some news
Yeah.
rather than, the past.
Oh, so you? Well, usually we sit here and we go, "What you been playing?" and
Yeah.
we'll say whatever. And
Well, what have we been playing?
are we going to do that?
Yeah,
Are we
okay,
going to go
let's-
straight into that hard nosed?
Let's get right into the news.
Let's not do that. Let's talk about what we've been playing.
Okay.
I'm going to go first, right?
Okay.
I'm going to take the stage.
Take the helm. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm a leader now. Because I've been playing the Banner Saga.
Okay. Stage is also relevant to the game I've been playing, but
Nice.
carry on.
More on that soon.
A nice little teaser for you there.
Okay.
So I've been playing Banner Saga. I'm now on Banner Saga 2.
This is our third week in a row of Banner Saga.
It's
so
good though.
It is a saga.
I feel
Banner
really
Saga.
It's bad because I like strategy games, and I've been I really have been looking for this kind of thing on the Switch for ages. I really want XCOM on the Switch basically, so I'm looking for close alternatives. And I've played quite a few tactical, some RPGs with tactical combat.
Yeah.
Divinity Original Sin, Wasteland 2 and stuff.
Okay.
But this is like such a perfect Switch game. I actually can't imagine playing it at my PC or something. But that's where it came out, and
It's a bit too perfect.
it's like reading a book, which makes it great for just playing in the evenings basically. But it's brutal, man. Like Banner Saga 2, it's starting to get grim. Like it's starting to get difficult decisions, bad things happening, like left, right, and centre. But it's like, you can tell that they've like ramped it up in terms of the scale and the drama that they're trying to get across. But it's cool. It's fucking cool. It's a good game. Banner Saga 2, I'm really, really into it. And what's cool is if you buy the first two, you get like a permanent 60% off discount on the eShop for the third one.
Well, that's good.
Nice.
That's
so I can get the
interesting.
third one for like £8.
That's
So
very kind.
That's
I
interesting
think-
because that was
yeah.
its sale price when it was on sale.
Yeah. So it's like incentive to get to the end.
Yeah, that's
And
very
then
clever,
you're like-
very nice.
Yeah, it's a nice move.
I don't
That.
think I've seen
So
that.
if I've been I've talked about it enough, as Jake said. I've mentioned it every time, but it's because I've been hammering it and I've been really, really enjoying it. The other thing I've done is play like a shitload of Xbox 360 games on Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
Which I got Game Pass a while ago for it's like £1. No, it was £1. It was definitely £1.
Yeah.
And as part of that, you get like 6 months Spotify. You get EA access for a month. You get there's something else that I don't care about, but it's good that it's there.
Yeah.
And it's it's a really for £1, right?
Yeah.
And then Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which means I can download a load of PC games as well. I've downloaded a load of Xbox One games, and I've been going back to the old like 360 titles that are on there. And Gears of War 2 has got the best grenades in any game ever, right?
Yeah.
It's so good. Cliff Bleszinski knows what he's doing when it comes
Does he?
to big, strong men hurting other big strong aliens. Right? He definitely knows what he's doing.
He does he?
You want to cut him in half, you want to blast him with a shotgun, you want to shoot him at range with a pistol. Pistols feel great in it, machine guns feel great in it. It's a very, very satisfying and solid game, which I wasn't expecting from a 360 game. I thought it was going to be like a little bit more floaty and, you know, that it wouldn't have the weight of like God of War or something.
I'm thinking about Cliff Blazinski, you know. It's like Lawbreakers montages in my head, all in black and white.
It's you know, just remember where he came from. I forgot about Cliff. Like,
there's a reason, isn't there?
Yeah. And Gears of War 2, I've really, really been enjoying.
It's a good game. It's a classic,
man. Gears is the one, you know. When I got my Game Pass, that's one of the things I first went, no. Because I remember in my head it being like an epic experience.
Yeah, it was.
It's got a great campaign, and I remember playing it, like, and it being in co-op was adding to it, and yeah, it's very set piecey.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'll go back in there, you know. And I did.
It's good, and it's like it feels heavy, and it feels like it's got a lot of weight, which I thought in my head I felt like a more recent thing that has come in. That, you know, that feels like God of War and things. I'm trying to think of another more recent example, but you know what I mean. When things feel heavy, I think that's very impressive. If you can make it feel like very meaty.
Yeah.
It's cool. I think that's great. But Gears of War absolutely smashed it. I've also been playing a lot of Fable 2, which is a lot closer to the kind of image I had of games being like, I love them in my head, but they're a bit shitter when you actually go back and play them.
But you know what doesn't? Fable 1, right? Which is why I reckon Fable 1 is the best one, because most people say Fable 2 is the best one, and I think, at the time. But if you go back,
Fable 1
holds up a lot better.
It does. No, but I've played Fable 1 probably about 3 times in the last about like 2 years. I've really replayed that a lot. So I didn't want to go for that, and that's part of the reason why I went back into the Game Pass, because I wanted to play Fable 2. I haven't played Fable 2 since I was like, 17 or something. So I've really been having a nice time with Fable, despite the fact that it takes so long to get back into it, because that is like very floaty. You do feel like you're gliding around.
I remember when I tried it for the first time in ages, I was like, this is a lot blurrier than I remember.
Very much.
It is blurry, isn't it?
But, you know, like, having said all of that, it's got really, really nice details in it. It's really, like, art direction is superb. Like, just the scenes that it kind of forces you to look at these sort of, like, you know, the camera, like, pushes you into things on purpose. So there's, like, the castle right at the beginning. Do you remember the street urchins, Oliver Twist stuff at the beginning?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's, like, a big gothic castle overshadowing it, and then a massive moon thing, and then it's snowing and stuff, and it just, you know, it sort of makes you look at that in a very Call of Duty kind of look over there kind of way.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's really nice. The music in it is fucking amazing. You know, I filmed a bit of the game and sent it to the guys on WhatsApp.
Yeah, rather than link us to like a YouTube video. It was an off.
But it was like just some nice kind of, you know, Braveheart style sort of, what is it, hurdy-gurdy? That's what
it is a hurdy-gurdy, I'm pretty sure.
It's a very Celtic sound.
I don't know if Danny Elfman...
I don't know. No, I don't know.
I think he did.
So Danny Elfman did the original Fable.
He did. He did one song from it.
Yeah.
And then some other guy, I think his name's Evan Shaw, took over. I think Danny Elfman then did the full, or co-wrote the full score for the second one.
And that makes sense, because it is it's phenomenal. It's really, really good. And then, you know, it gives you this sense of like almost like Breath of the Wild. Obviously not to the same degree, but it gives you this like Breath of the Wild type vibe of give, you know, a big open plain, which was a thing they wanted to do with Fable 2, because Fable 1 was
I remember it well. Yeah.
Fable 1 was like a lot of corridors, and even the forests were like just roads.
When you look at the maps, it is like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Corridors with other corridors going off.
Quite old fashioned, but then in Fable 2 this is obviously a big Molyneux idea of like open the space up, which, you know, those are the little details that Molyneux, you forget Molyneux did that kind of thing.
I never forget.
No, because we both love Molyneux.
I want to get Peter Molyneux tattooed on me, man.
I've already got one, but it's he did, like, there's loads of really nice stuff in Fable 2, and I'm really having a nice time. But like I was saying, it was Cliff Blazinski's Gears of War 2 that I really enjoyed. That's the one where I was really like, fuck, this is a good game.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So that's what I've been up to. Liam, what have you been doing, mate?
So I've been alternating between 2 games at the minute. Code Vein on the Xbox One, and the newly released Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Yeah,
I was wondering, is he going to do the full
Encore for the full title on the Nintendo Switch?
Yeah.
So my life has been weirdly dominated by anime at the minute, which is sort of warping my perspective on life a little bit.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I should probably have a break. But so Code Vein, that is, if you don't know, it's made by Bandai Namco, and it is a Dark Souls-like game, except about anime vampires instead of, like hollowed undead people. And it is very weeby. It's, very cheesy dialogue.
Yeah.
A lot more story driven than most Souls games are. It's very cutscene heavy. Lots of voice acting in this one. And the thing that makes this one unique is you can swap classes on the fly.
Yeah.
So instead of picking a predetermined class at the beginning,
right,
like barbarian or knight or whatever,
you
have a thing called blood codes, which you get from meeting different characters. That's the other thing about this game. You'll hate hearing the word blood after an hour.
Yeah.
And so you have these things called blood codes, and you swap them out, and they can be give you high endurance but low attack, so you can be like a big tank. That some of them could give you increase your range damage, so you can play casting spells and with a rifle and stuff like that.
How many of these are we talking? Is it 3 or 4, or is it like an MMO where there's
it's quite a lot.
15?
Oh, probably more than 15, But then, so you can, once you've used the skill enough on it, you can inherit that skill permanently, and you can swap it and carry that skill over.
Okay.
So you can sort of do a bit of a mix and mishmash of classes.
Yeah.
It's like if you decide, I want to play melee, but I like using spells, just use the spellcaster one for a bit, get some skills from it, and you can keep them as passives or actives if you want.
Yeah.
And but other than that, it's a very fast-paced game. You die very, very quickly in it, 2-3 hits by everything,
right?
Most times. But that problem is easily solved by, and you discover it very early on, you can just basically roll behind every enemy, bosses included, and just backstab them all the time.
Really?
And just slash at them. And so it's not very challenging once you discover the magic trick of just dodging through them all the time. And I will say, visually, it is very nice, but the level design is atrocious.
Okay.
And so I sent you guys it on WhatsApp, the Anor Londo looking rip-off
Yeah,
place.
So there's a location in it that looks loads like
It looks
Dark
like
Souls.
Anor Londo, and for a bit of added Bloodborne plagiarism, it's called the Cathedral of the Sacred Blood.
Yeah, well,
So, and, but the level design in this one area is very maze-like. Everything looks the same. Everything's like this marbly, pristine white architecture.
Yeah.
And it all looks the same. And I was stuck in this area for 2 hours just wandering around trying to figure out where to go next. Because it was just corridor after corridor after corridor. Occasionally I'd have to drop off a ledge. But then I'd climb back up a ladder and be back where I was just dropped down from.
Dear.
The level design is very, very bad. But apart from that, somehow, despite all
that aside,
despite all this, I am actually enjoying the game. I think it's good. It's got some decent lore to it. You can tell they put a lot of effort into fleshing out this backstory and how the world became post-apocalyptic, vampire-inhabited ruins and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And the combat, I do like it. I'm playing a very fast, nimble character who just slashes with a sword a lot.
Yeah. You're definitely a man for a dex build, aren't you?
Very dex heavy. And the one thing about Code Vein as well is you don't level up each individual stat like you do in Dark Souls.
All right.
It's just a straight level up that increases all your stats, scaling to whatever class you've got equipped.
Oh, okay.
So that's how your character building works in it.
Right.
But yeah, it's good. It's decent. I'd recommend it if you are absolutely jonesing for a Souls-like game.
Yeah.
But,
okay. Yeah.
But to be honest, I would recommend you just play Dark Souls or
again.
Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Because,
and that's what it boils down to with every one of these games, isn't it?
Or if you absolutely have to have something that is Souls-like but not Souls, just play Neo.
Yeah.
It's a decent enough game. It's fine.
I mean, so what is it that's elevated? Because it sounds like there's a lot of annoying stuff there, but you said the combat's pretty good.
The combat's good.
And the lore.
Yeah,
those two things are kind of elevating it enough.
Yeah, I'm invested enough at this point that I want to see where the story's going.
Yeah.
And the moment-to-moment combat is satisfying enough to keep me interested.
Sure, okay.
So it's sort of a bit of a love-hate relationship at the minute.
Yeah.
For every bad thing it does something where I'm like, okay, I'm into this.
Yeah. Bit of a blood-hate relationship.
Oh,
Fucking hell.
honestly, just off the top of my head, it was blood codes, blood beads, blood veins, blood gifts, blood skills.
Could they just think called skills and gifts?
They literally just take a word and just put blood on in front of it or at the end of it.
Man.
And it does get a bit annoying.
So tell me about the other game you've been playing.
And the other game I've been playing is Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Yeah.
Again, for the full title, Sharp FE Encore. Which is a JRPG on Nintendo Switch.
Is this the stage?
Yes.
Segue from earlier.
It is.
Yeah, because I was thinking...
I'll loop back around to that in a second.
Okay.
And so this is it's Persona cross Fire Emblem, although it's more like 90% Persona, 10% Fire Emblem. The Fire Emblem stuff isn't that big or at the forefront of this game. And so the stage thing is, it's a JRPG where the world is being invaded by monsters called Mirages. You play as Mirage Masters, who, with your Fire Emblem Mirages, as you're like backing you up, who lend you their power,
of course,
as they do in everything.
Yeah.
And you have to solve the mystery of these Mirages, but for some reason, you have to do it under the guise of J-pop idols. And your
Mike was going to get it, you know. Yeah,
and battles take place on stages.
That's it.
Nice.
I can see what you mean by Persona now. Right.
Yeah. And so, like, your home base is like your entertainment company is like a front.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And there's like a lot of musical references and stuff in it. So, like, everything's got, like, I think, like, you unlock materials to create new weapons. They're called, like, Performer and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So, a lot of, like, music-based stuff. But it's fun. Like, if you've played a Persona game, you'll probably feel right at home with this one.
Yeah, it does sound like that, to be honest. It does sound like the same kind of sensibility of, well, we think it'll be fun, so we'll just do that.
So it's like it's sort of a game of two halves, like Persona. It's like you've got your turn-based combat, which it's all about building combos in this one.
Yeah.
So you just chain together attacks to do like big damage and stuff like that, and then you're crawling through dungeons, solving puzzles, and just like trying to push the story forward.
Is it like party based, by the way?
So I think you can have 3 party members at a time. And then the other half of the game is the stuff you've probably seen from Persona, like walking around, hanging out with like your party members, chatting, doing training sessions and stuff like that to build your stats. And all like
things
the social
you do with all your
stuff.
real life mates in it, training sessions.
Yeah, you learn to sing and dance and all that.
Learning to sing and dance with your mates, yeah, man.
But it's fun, I'm really into it. It's like
That's good,
it doesn't take itself seriously. It's very light-hearted. It knows it's silly and it like fully embraces it. And it's nice to have like a big meaty JRPG on the Switch.
Yeah, cool.
To join the other many hundreds of them that are also on the Switch now.
Yeah, they're not slowing down, are they?
Yeah.
They're not slowing
and I promise for next week I will try to play a non-anime related game.
Yeah, Temtem's out, so
Temtem is out tomorrow, so I might get on that.
All right, very nice. Jake?
I can I'll whiz through these. I've been playing Dragon Quest, which we've already kind of talked about, so that's on the books, and I don't need to go into that. But I've been playing it on the Switch, which is the newer,
the enhanced version
that Liam didn't get to play. So I don't know what the differences between our playthroughs have been, but I'm about 7 hours in, 8 hours in.
Yeah.
So 10% of the way through the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's really good. It's very. It's like really genre. Like if you
absolutely,
you have to be like ready for the tropes, ready for the like you're the hero that needs to leave his hometown and abandon his family because he's the chosen one of destiny. That's the only one that can stop an apocalyptic force.
Yeah.
But you, despite being the only one that can do it, you need to band together with some friends that you meet along the way.
And it's it's a game called Dragon Quest. You know what I mean?
When,
you need to think about the title a lot, I reckon.
Well, that's why I asked the important question that
not many dragons in it.
There's
how
many dragons are in
probing
it?
question.
And Liam said that there's only one dragon so far, and I can confirm.
Well, it's not Dragon's Quest, is it?
No.
No,
But I there is. It's alluding that there will be some more dragon action, and we'll find out. So I am really into it though. I'm playing it on Switch, and
cool.
having it on the Switch has given it that idea. And I've also got and I know that I'll talk about this next week, Pillars of Eternity 2 on the PlayStation, which is out next Tuesday, but I'll be allowed to talk about it properly by next week.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. And Legends of Runeterra I'll be talking about.
Okay.
I can tell you right there.
Can you give us a quick update on the Tarkov report?
I've quit. I've quit.
Following
put it out there, yeah?
Following on from all the excitement of Jake's new series, the Tarkov report, based on the game Escape from Tarkov.
Yeah, it was all going off. About 30 seconds later, I feel nothing. It's like Poppers, but just as a game. So it was, the adrenaline rush wears off quickly when you realise I actually don't care if I lose my AK-47.
Yeah.
Remember I told you that it's all about, oh my god, it's all about like the fear of loss and that goes. But when you realise that you don't give a shit, there's no point.
I can't remember if we mentioned this in the podcast last time, but what we did, which maybe contributed to that, was we watched some videos of Escape from Tarkov being played, and they were like big, exciting titles, like
Dr. Disrespect's best game ever.
Yeah, and it was the
$1 million
most
run.
boring shit I've ever seen in my life.
Absolutely.
And
it was Dr. Disrespect who was so scared he forgot to put on his stupid voice. Running around, not even running, crouch sidewalking around some woods for literally 17 minutes going, guys, can you remember when I loot that body, he had a bag? Guys, did he have a bag?
But that was like
terrifying.
That was once every 2 minutes. So there was a lot of silence.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of dead air.
So that was, I don't know anything about the game, so maybe the game was great.
petrified, so he wasn't giving it his best.
But that was, he wasn't the only one we watched. We watched like a couple, and it was very boring. So maybe that maybe that set this kind of,
I was really excited about the game, but then I just realised I didn't care.
We recorded a good video, so maybe that'll come out.
Yeah, and I didn't even download it to edit it because I've been busy. And then my spare time...
busy not playing Escape from Tarkov.
I did go back to 2 Point Hospital, but on console.
Yeah.
And the very first, I think it was the very first Special Moves podcast where we talked about 2 Point Hospital.
Right.
I think so, yeah.
I'll tell you more about that when we get there.
So then we may release, which is now going to be kind of rebranded as like the Hidden Tarkov Report.
The
Tarkov Report.
The Unearthed.
Which is what it was originally going to be called anyway, but with no number.
Yeah.
The Tarkov Report, Unearthed.
And I'll get rid of all mention it, there'll be a second one.
Yeah. Unredacted, something like that.
Yeah. Be like SCP.
Big X-Files type vibe. Yeah. We're going to brand it like that, but it's just going to be the same video. It was a nice video that we recorded. So
I couldn't tell.
It was good.
Cool.
It was just a couple of stories about Escape from Tarkov, essentially. Yeah. It serves basically as an impressions video.
Yeah.
Because that was your
first
impression.
Heavy anecdotes. Well, so that's it, guys. That's Escape from Tarkov. The honeymoon period's over. I decide I hate it.
Yes.
Which is a shame.
Fucking good.
Which is so funny, because it's like, I do these 180s every now and then. Remember the Fire Emblem one?
You're a hell of a one for a dramatic 180.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
What can I say?
If you're a cowboy, I'd call you Old U-Turn Jake.
Would you?
Yeah.
Get the hell out of Dodge and come straight back in again.
yeah, but also work in our favour. Like, Jake's left us. Shit, Jake's gone.
And then I come back like Gandalf.
Forget that you're called U-Turn Jake, but you come back like Gandalf. And we'll be like, Jake's come and they're turning that tide.
But then I'm like, I've got this fantastic bar. Where's Jake? He's gone out the back. He's sick of it. So the thing about Tarkov is, it wasn't me, it was them as well. It wasn't like I've had to change your heart. The game just didn't hold my attention. It's not my fault. Fire Emblem, the problem was me and my bias and my inability to love.
And then you went into it and
I fell in love. With Tarkov, I just thought...
Yeah. So if you're playing Escape from Tarkov, and could you just tell us in the comments what you like about it, what you think it's, why you think it's good, and try and sort of, because now I'm never going to play it because I trust this guy and I'm just never going to play it. But if we could, it would be nice to get some some rebuttal.
Yeah, exactly. Please tell if you want to give me a reason to carry on. Please do. And it's not uninstalled. I am willing to go back, but I just need a reason.
Yeah,
give me a reason.
That's a YouTube comment, or if you're listening on Spotify or iTunes or whatever,
any good podcast provider. Oh yeah, please do.
Email us. dsspecialmoves@gmail.com. Email us at dsspecialmoves@gmail.com. Like these people did. Let's read some emails.
Oh, yeah.
So I mentioned at the start of the podcast, we did get a nice email.
I think it was nice emails.
We did get, we actually got quite a full inbox this week. But yeah, we got one from Fletcher Kelly, who gave us a very nice email about last week's pod. And it was basically just a very detailed breakdown of all the things that he liked in it. So I'm not going to read it out, but I just want to say...
It's a bit of a bedtime read, is it?
It is, yeah. You guys can read it. But it was a very, very nice email from Fletcher Kelly, so thanks for that.
Fletcher.
But this is an email, quite some long ones, but they're good. This is an email from Alan Campbell, who's a teacher in Taiwan.
Oh, that's sick. Okay.
So Alan Campbell says this.
Yeah.
Dear Special Moves, love the podcast. I like to save it for my Friday night commute to welcome the weekend, which is quite nice. I recently finished Plague Tale Innocence on the PS4. As I played it, two thoughts came to mind. First, it's great to be gaming in a time when a small studio can make such a solid, enjoyable third-person action game. Second, what more could they have done with more money? I thought the game was quite good, but the budget sometimes showed itself, especially in the limited character animations. This got me thinking about the role of money in video games in general. In a lot of other creative mediums, money feels like it has a corrupting influence. Writers disappoint with a big advance on a novel, a band goes too pop when they find some success, the Matrix sequels. More money may help a project, but it may also take away from some of the creative vision. In games, however, more money seems to usually lead to a better result. There are great indie games, sure, but money allows games to look better and integrate more content and systems. This is especially true with certain genres, like third-person action, shooters, and RPGs. So many sequels seem to be better than the original, which rarely feels true with films. I'm not sure if this has more to do with money or technology, but I can't think of many games that were ruined by a bigger budget. Personally, I hope that Plague Tales gets a sequel, and I hope the studio is showered with money to produce it. Happy New Year, Alan Campbell. Good email.
Thanks, Alan Campbell.
You played Plague Tale, didn't you?
Yes.
What is it?
It's a game about these brother and sister combo who lose their parents to some giant rat plague, and then they have to try and escape and find hope. Meanwhile, they're being chased by some sorcerer guy.
Yeah.
Goes a bit off the rails at the end, but I liked it a lot,
I mean, I remember looking at it and thinking, "Wow, that looks really nice," and it looks like I would really enjoy it. But I really liked, for example, closest thing I think of is Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice in terms of scale, scope.
Yeah.
So I really like that. So it seems like I would like it, but I just haven't got around to it.
It's coming to Game Pass soon.
There you go. Problem solved.
Quid paid for itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Now let me tell you this. Yeah, I can answer all this question, but you have to just tell me if I'm wrong. I think that Hellblade and Plague Tale were made of indie sensibility in the sense that they both rely on a gimmick, a mechanical gimmick, and then build around that. So Hellblade and such, they have a gimmick.
Yeah. So
in Plague Tale, it's like, what if you had to stay out of the darkness, because if you went into that, rats killed you, and it was and rats are like liquid in the game. They swarm and they flow, and it's just endless. Yeah. So there's all sorts of physics puzzles you can do with light and vermin, right? And then with Hellblade, it's like, you got loads of voices in your head, and it's all psychological.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything else, but that's kind of it, right? And that's what the game's been made on.
Yeah.
The gimmick is there. And I reckon that the story comes afterwards, to be honest. Hellblade, maybe not so much. I reckon it's about 50-50. But I think that is it's all built around one mechanic in a game.
Yeah.
I guess God of War had that, and that was AAA. But it all kind of centers around this axe combat. But I think a lot of other games, like AAA games, have multiple systems.
Yeah.
So they don't rely on one system.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If Destiny was focused entirely on riding a sparrow, all of a sudden you have a completely different type of game. But I think that's why, and I think that more money will kind of mean that you can put in more systems, like what Alan said. But when a game is based on one system, then all of a sudden the money will just go on.
No, I definitely agree with what you're saying. But I think I like Alan's point that if you give more money to a game and you still want the same end result, you'll just improve it. Basically, you'll polish the animation. He's saying the animations aren't very good. Or good, not quite up to scratch, whatever, as far as he's concerned, on the Plague Tale. So you could polish that up if you had an animation extra set of animators working on it, and you don't tend to have technical flaws as such in films, do you? If you don't have that kind of that doesn't work. It's usually more like a creative poor choices.
Which is why a sequel doesn't work as much, because a sequel is like kind of somebody milking an existing idea that kind of was over in the first film.
Yeah.
Again,
so he's raising a really good point there. But what I think it does kind of, if you compare that like for like with like there's a sequel and it's got more money, there is a Hellblade sequel coming.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it, so I can't say anything about it. But the first Hellblade I really, really liked, and I would be happy if there was just no other Hellblade game ever.
Yeah.
Because it's done. And
this is. I reckon it's because it's so narrative driven that you feel that way, right? But like if they made Destiny 3, it'll just be the same. But like with games, you play them, don't you? So mechanics and things that felt not quite perfect in the first game.
Animations, key part of that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Animation, gameplay mechanics. Like you on about Banner Saga. Banner Saga 2 built on Banner Saga's 1 combat system. Whereas a film, you're just doing the same thing. You're sitting there and watching it.
Yeah.
And then the only thing that can be improved is a creative decision wise, really. Yeah. Could maybe get better cameras.
Well,
if you were an indie film and a sequel was a blockbuster, you'd notice it. Whereas and that does happen with games sometimes, where the first installment is a team of 12 people and the budget is 500,000, and then by the third one, you've got 400 people and 30 million behind you. Yeah. So if that was the same with a film, like if Blair Witch 3 was like about the Blair Witch is actually an alien, right, from outer space, and then a whole swarm of Blair Witches all land on Earth like meteors. And then there's like they're all big, huge CGI, and they take over the city, and there's loads of Blair Witches roaming around. Sounds shit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But this is a grand scheme that needs a grand budget and a grand thing. No, that's kind of it,
No, and there are. I mean, very, very notable example I can think of is Star Wars, which wasn't an indie film, but when you look at Star Wars, it looks very much less expensive than The Empire Strikes Back, even.
Right.
And even Return of the Jedi. By Return of the Jedi, you can tell. This is a fucking money-spinning, massive juggernaut franchise. The original Star Wars is pretty rough around the edges and pretty indie in terms of how it's... But that's, that's an exception. And that wasn't... the Star Wars is like an original movie IP, and it's not come from comic books or books. So it's kind of it's a special sort of rare case, I think. But, it's a really interesting point there. Like, I think that what you've said there, Jake, in response to what Alan said, is really interesting. Like, do you really need that much more money as a game developer? Because if your scope, if you're building a game around one idea, and it's like 2 hours long and it's really good, what else do you want, really? Do you really need?
It seems like
that much more money.
Exactly. It's like dead money then. It's just the same thing but shinier.
Yeah.
But the same thing but shinier but costs 5 times as much.
Yeah.
If it's you're building it around the concept and you're doing it for budget, then I suppose that's the idea.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. No. I guess Alan's more talking about AA games.
Yeah.
Games,
Yeah. But it's a good conversation.
Yeah, it is.
That's a great email, Alan.
It's cool.
Thank you.
Nice one. And I hope your drive home's going okay. You say commute, but you might be talking about driving. You might be on a train.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Bike.
Yeah.
Dear Special Moves, this is another email. This one's from Craig Favershire Ferguson, Scottish.
A nice one, Craig.
Craig says, Dear Special Moves, over the new year I got together with friends. Usually we would have a cheeky LAN party where we'd play an MMO or FPS for a few days. The last few years, however, we have found ourselves playing more and more board games.
Nerd? No, I'm joking, Mum.
This year it was Lord of the Rings.
No, sorry, Craig.
Journeys in Middle-earth.
Oh, maybe I'm not so sorry. Go on.
And Binding of Isaac 4 Souls. Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Suddenly Jake wants to join your little pie.
Yeah, Craig, invite me.
Yeah. Craig, invite me. Yeah, imagine you got an invite.
Sick.
Okay. I also spotted that a Divinity Original Sin board game smashed its crowdfunding goals last month.
Yes.
Which I'm incredibly excited about to get my hands on. I've been pretty impressed with some of the games we've tried. They've come a long way from the days of Monopoly and Cluedo. I've even started playing a few single-player board games, which doesn't feel as tragic as it sounds.
No, right. Yeah.
Anyway, question. What are the gang's thoughts on board gaming?
Oh, okay.
Turn up, love you guys, awesome. Craig for the Shire, Ferguson.
Nice one, Craig. Sorry for
That's
calling you
Faye the Shire.
Yeah.
You know.
FAE.
Yeah. So I'm not saying like 4. He's not like a fucking running for. He's not an MP. Do you know what I mean? Craig Ferguson for the Shire.
Well, how do you guys feel about board games? 'Cause I got some feelings, but I feel like I'm quite ingrained into this world.
Yeah. And what about you, Liam? I don't know what.
Yeah, I can't say I've played that many like fantasy board games and stuff like that,
No.
or general like gaming related board games. The only board games I could even have ever claimed to play is shite like Monopoly and Cluedo and stuff like that.
So
I've never played D&D, you know, I've never played like the Bloodborne tabletop game or the Dark Souls tabletop game or anything like that. It's a completely unexplored world for me.
the one that really caught my eye was XCOM, the board game for that, because I really like the idea of it being a cooperative type thing, and you just, you know, XCOM is such a great game that I think that's a really good proof of, you know, does it work as a board game? And XCOM, by all accounts, absolutely does, and it's an excellent, you know, stressful, tactical board game. So I would like to play that, and you can play that with like 4 people or something. But I've really got no experience with board games really. But it's one of these things that have kind of, it's massive, isn't it? Like it's just driven by like Kickstarter, crowdfunding, and stuff. And so you get communities building around that kind of thing as well before the game's even been made. Yeah. So you'll get groups that want to play it together and stuff. Cards, you've done a bit of cards, haven't you? You played a bit of Magic.
Actual
card game.
Okay, I've played the Pokemon TCG.
Yeah, card building.
I've played card games.
Yeah, like they're really growing as well, I guess, and like that mixture of them, because like, you know, I guess on a sort of logistical level, like people have figured out that cards are cheaper to print than statues by the 1,000.
Yeah.
So
they look really nice as well, like the art and stuff on them. They look
fantastic. Good. Yeah, get a good concept artist, and that's like half the job over, you know. But like I feel like I'm pretty into it. Like so, my older cousin has really been on this trend. You know, like, does anyone know like one dude, or you know of one dude that got into Bitcoin early, and it's like that's all they talk about, but quite rightly, because they had like a Bitcoin when it was worth like 800 quid.
Yeah.
Well, that was my cousin with these board games. He used to he like backed Gloomhaven when it was like nothing, and then now you can sell that exact copy that he paid 60 quid for like 380 quid. And he does. He's like a board game flipper. He's like he's a stock market. He knows so much about board games, what's going to go on in that he knows to make a good investment on Kickstarter. He knows which backing level will give him the most yield. Heartbreaking.
Does he then play it, or is he
heartbreaking? No, he only plays this fucking Lovecraftian one. But I've played but I learned about, you know, that it was a thing then.
Yeah.
And then I'm watching Kickstarter grow year on year, and I'm like, fucking hell, and it's massive for it now.
Yeah.
But then, there's this kind of thing where a lot of them are 3 to 4 player, and it sounds sad, I know, but these days, because your mates who you used to play games with, like Nintendo 64 and whatever, are all got their own £500 fucking PS4 or whatnot, you don't really gather around and play games with your mates no more.
You don't.
And they're really trying to bring that back with D&D's resurgence is insane. It's like when you look at like people even watching like Critical Role is like booming. There's TV shows being made about it. It's everywhere.
I've got the answer, luckily. What they need to do is do like that's you, everyone bring your phone round to my house and we'll connect it to the PlayStation, and then everyone's got their like character sheet and stuff on their phone.
They do that. D&D has got that, you know. D&D has got it. When I played D&D, D&D Beyond, and you can make your character sheet online. And
but has it got the old telly? You could have the Dungeon Master.
You can, and you can hook up, and you know, you can send your character sheet to your Dungeon Master ahead of time, so he can, like, you know, like if you, like, let's say you brought a friend round to my house and I've never met him, Gethin or whatever, from last week. Yeah. Shouts out Geffen, hope he's alright. Then, and I don't know him, I could get a feel for his character, what sort of stuff he's been on ahead of time.
Well, what I'm saying is, right?
Yeah.
It's an RPG like Divinity Original Sin, right? Except you get your mates round.
Yeah.
The fucking Dungeon Master.
Yeah.
Is
shit.
Fucking a game.
If only, eh? Yeah, that would be pretty sick.
Yeah.
I mean, Divinity Original
Sin.
Stop
this podcast now.
Divinity Original Sin on PC does have that mode where
Yeah.
It's got Dungeon Master mode, but it was omitted from the others. But yeah.
Weird that, wasn't it? So it was you could have the D&D mode on a PC, but not on consoles
not everywhere else. And I guess a lot of that's because you can't really type on the fly.
Yeah.
So quick if you've got a controller, and you need to think on the fly as a DM, really, or whatever. But yeah, so like I'm working on the Divinity Original Sin 2 board game at the moment, and there's like sort of same with a lot of these other games. It's designed for small groups of people, but there are games like Craig said that you can play one player. And if I remember rightly, the Dark Souls game is designed to be played, I think, on maximum of 2 players, and I think one other player can control the boss.
Okay.
The Bloodborne card game, which I actually own, and I was planning on bringing it around to Christmas, but we didn't end up doing it. Was is a 3-player game.
Yeah.
It seems like an odd number, But that's card based as well. So
it's a huge thing, isn't it? So subculture. It's like fully like gaming as its own thing, but this kind of board gaming. This,
I think a lot of people in the past couple of years will kind of have an anecdote about Cards Against Humanity. I think that's kind of the one, right? Yeah. That's the what everybody kind of knows.
Yeah.
And normally, if you ask, let's say, like 9 out of 10 people or whatever, they would have had a good time, or they've got a fond memory in their head.
Yeah.
That thing in their head's going off. That's what it's like with board games. I played King of Tokyo, which is a board game made for children, actually, by the person that made Magic: The Gathering.
Right.
And it's a silly little game where you compete to become King of Tokyo. I played it. There was about 6 of us. I'll never forget that. Like, it's just, if I was playing like Overcooked 2, I've played that so many times.
Yeah.
But that was so nice, and it was just like...
Feels like more of an event somehow.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think that's what it is. And I think especially with board games where there's so much random chance and like where games are programmed, but this is literally luck and chance.
Yeah.
It can create more memories. Oh.
Yeah.
Funness.
Yeah. So yeah, I reckon it's exciting. And again, if anyone is listening who's a bit of a board game connoisseur, because surely there is, let us know what you got, what's good, what's popping off.
Yeah.
I know that One Night Werewolf is sick, Gloomhaven is sick, and I've heard good things about the Dark Souls one.
There you go. Tell us about that in the comments.
Yeah.
So we should probably talk about the PS5 thing, given that we did say we would do it. And it's like 47 minutes in, and we need to do the new games.
Yes.
But this time.
There's actually 2 new games I know that are going to be part.
Challenge accepted. So thanks everyone for the emails, by the way, because they were bloody good this week, and I liked reading them. So keep sending us emails.
I'm going to read the ones before bed.
Yeah. Especially if you're listening and you're not watching on YouTube and you want to give us a little comment, just send us an email, because that's like the best way of doing it.
Rate us 5 stars on iTunes, Spotify.
Definitely do that as well. Give us 5 stars on iTunes, even if you always watch us on YouTube and you've never listened to us on iTunes in your life.
Do you know how much that helps?
It would be great.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's good. It's really...
We're
it
like
helps
top
us.
20 in the world, for gaming.
Yeah.
Because of you guys. We could
want
be
to
top 10.
Top 1.
Yeah.
So make that happen for us.
Funny.
Yeah. Who's that? So it's dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. So let's talk about PlayStation 5 then. So PS5... So basically... Let's start from the very fucking top, yeah?
Okay.
There's basically going to be new generation of consoles this year, correct?
Yeah.
New PlayStation, new Xbox.
Yeah.
Maybe even a new kind of little Switch thing. Little exciting little Switch thing, which would be nice.
Yeah.
Fuck off. It'd be well nice.
Yeah.
Well,
if Sega came out of a Dreamcast 2, I'd buy it.
Yeah, it can't be fucked.
Yeah.
No, I'm the only one out of us that hasn't ever bought a 0.5 gen, a PS4
That's
Pro
true,
or whatever, and I wouldn't. Anyway, go on.
All right, I feel bad about myself now.
It's okay to be excited. In fact, I welcome it.
Yeah, but you're cooler than me.
Yeah, exactly.
So the PS5 has had loads of stuff, loads of leaks, little details and stuff. Very difficult to keep track of all of it, especially if you're just kind of passingly interested, like I am. I want to know the truth, and I'm not interested in pursuing fucking rabbit holes that especially lead to places like 4chan. Regardless, some leak came out on 4chan, which is one of the internet's many arseholes.
Yeah. This one's anonymous. It's the hidden arsehole, really.
Yeah. So that place. So there was a leak. There was a leak on there a little while ago. Loads of good specific details about PlayStation 5. No one really took any notice of it. But one of the details was that the leaker had said that the new slogan for PlayStation would be "It's time to play," which is a little bit creepy. But they said that's what it would be. Usually it's like for the players, right? Yeah, it's a bit like
I didn't let that sink in when you first told me. Yeah,
it's what Chucky says.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm thinking of.
Can you remember the old Wii advert, and it was "We want to play" in a creepy voice?
No.
But we, like
with 2 eyes.
Do you remember the PS2 adverts?
Aphex Twin.
Yeah, some of them were directed by David Lynch. It was amazing.
So this is definitely not that level.
I wonder, if there was a pie chart, of things Liam said on the podcast, what little triangle on the pie would be facts about David Lynch?
About 6%, I would say.
Specifically, facts about things that David Lynch has directed.
6%, I reckon. Yeah.
Well, it's fresh in the mind.
6% feels good.
Yeah.
So there's a PS5 leak on 4chan, and it's kind of been confirmed a little bit because this creepy slogan, "It's time to play," actually then appeared on the Twitter account for one of the PlayStation, I think it was the PlayStation, international account, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to like PlayStation EU or whatever. So now, all of a sudden, there's a lot of attention being paid to some specific details about PS5, which are the PS5 will be revealed at a thing called the PlayStation Meeting for press and media on February the 5th, which is really, really close. A couple of weeks. 2 weeks, basically.
Yeah.
Yes, the 20th today, isn't it? January?
Yes.
So it's 2 weeks away.
Fucking hell, yeah.
That'll be held in New York, but who cares? The console's design, controller, UI, home screen, specifications and features, all full reveal, basically. They're going to just show you what the thing looks like. When you buy it, this is what you're going to see when you boot it up, which is cool. Really, really into that.
Yeah.
It's going to be backwards compatible with all PS4 games, which is like, all right, I'll take that.
Again, believable. Arrogant and believable.
Yeah, I'll take that, and it's, fine. The release date is going to be October 2020. It's going to cost £450 or $500. It's going to have specs that are almost on par. That's the phrases that have been used in most of the articles with Xbox Series X, which I think a lot of people were. It's sort of put forward that this Xbox Series X would be like mega powerful. Mm-hmm. So the PlayStation 5 will be almost on par. So not quite as powerful, but almost there.
The most powerful console reigns supreme again.
The Xbox One, Xbox One,
I guess.
Yeah, Series X, and then pre-orders will go live on February the 5th if you want to do that. And then the games lineup was leaked as well, which is Gran Turismo 7, MLB The Show 21, Demon Souls Remastered, which is pretty interesting, Godfall, and Legends with a Z. So those are some juicy ass details about which are not supposed to be out yet.
Definitely not, mate. No,
do you know what I mean?
It's stupid, and I hate it, and I hate everything about it.
What?
And that's why I think it's going to work. February the 5th. Some fucking stupid date at the PlayStation meeting. Who fucking cares?
All dates are stupid.
Well, yeah, but it's not like a date of any relevance. Like, why not E3 or Gamescom or PlayStation Experience? Yeah. Like the fucking little games festival that you run as PlayStation.
E3 would be too close, wouldn't it? If they were looking for October.
That, yeah.
But
remember, this is how they unveiled the PS4 as well, at a thing called the PlayStation Meeting.
Yeah.
But
that's lame, isn't it?
It's when they had just like Mark Cerny come on stage and say, "This time we'll have an 8-core processor," and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing, isn't it? It's like, I don't know. There's no spectacle in it. Get the fucking people going.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, I'm looking. There's no specs there, really, is there? So only that it's going to be almost as powerful as the Xbox One X. And so as a man who's just said, I don't care about 0.5 consoles and that. You're not that asked about power, are you?
Power.
When it comes to games consoles, I mean.
Yeah. Otherwise,
socially and physically, you need to fucking have it,
just
right?
kill everybody. But but seriously, when it comes to stuff like this, I don't give a fuck about teraflops. Yeah. I just know I've got the box. The thing is, if I want to do incremental power increases, sounds like some fucking gym shit. I'll just get a new graphics card, new processor, whatever. I just want to buy the box that plays the games.
Yeah.
And then there's a new box that plays the games, not the same games.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing with the PS4 Pro in it. Every single fucking game on there I can play on my PlayStation 4. So there's no point. But eventually there'll be PlayStation 5 exclusives. Yeah. So just get that.
Well, and that's an interesting thing, right? Because the Xbox One Series X, it's gonna be like
this isn't a leak.
Compatible forwards with. Yeah. So basically, you can play Xbox One Series X games on a regular Xbox One.
Yeah.
So they've
for about 2.5 years.
Yeah, they said they won't have any exclusives for like a year and a half at least.
Yeah, so which is a mad like strategy but that's kind of what they've been doing with the PC, right? So you can play all Xbox One exclusives on the PC as well. So you can get Halo on there, Gears of War, all that stuff. You can just play it on your PC if you want. You don't need an Xbox.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a really interesting strategy. But, I don't care about that stuff. I just want, what's the best thing for me? Where are the games like you? Exactly. But I do care about the hardware and the power a little bit. So I would be a bit disappointed if it wasn't like quite a significant leap from the PlayStation 4. Because, like I was saying, I went back and played Xbox 360 games last week. Man, was there a fucking jump from last generation to this generation. But you easily forget it. Yeah. You easily forget it.
Yeah.
And if you go from something like Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, really high fidelity games, you go back one generation,
I reckon
aliasing all over the place.
It'll be ray tracing that does this. Because it's a big lighting change that we're not used to, really. But
SSD would be a big thing.
Well, SSD is proven. They've already shown it off.
But they would be crazy to not have SSD in there, right?
Yeah. Well, they've shown it off already. Spider-Man went from an 8-second loading screen to 0.75 seconds. Something stupid like that. So, that'll make a hell of a difference. Yeah. And if that will affect my load times on my PS4 games, if Bloodborne's loading screens, as lovely as it is to read about certain types of blood vials and fucking sediments and whatever, if I can just go, boop, and I'm in, die, and I'm back,
It's right. No, the rhythm of that game is going to change because of the fucking loading times are going to be, microscopic. I'm really, really glad about the backwards compatibility thing. I don't mind at all that there's no forwards compatibility because I'm interested in getting the new... this is going to be the first time in my life that I've said this before, that I can get a console on launch day. And it's important to me, symbolically, excitedly, to be able to go, I've got this on day one.
And have just a little gap. But for the people that aren't in a privileged enough position to get it day one, have no fear, because the games lineup isn't it's full of bangers.
Gross.
You've got, baseball?
Yeah.
Cars?
Don't care.
Fucking more Dark Souls?
I'll get that.
Godfall, now that's interesting.
I'll get that.
What's Legends, though?
I don't know.
It's got a Z in it,
so I'm not interested.
Do it! Do you know what, Demon Souls Remastered, I don't think is real. I don't believe that. I don't believe it.
Why not?
Unless Bluepoint are making it. Because Miyazaki said he's not interested in it.
But it would be
6 months
remastered,
ago.
wouldn't it? It would literally be what Dark Souls Remastered is, which is fuck all. They've just done nothing and said, here you go.
But that's the thing, innit? It's so coded, for PS3, and it's so weird. There's going to have to be some effort put into just to get the fucker to work.
But you'd imagine that the brute force by PS5, you'd imagine that the
I would say the game itself just needs a full-on remake, not even a remaster.
It's been 10 years, 11 years.
In the past year, I played it.
11 years. It's odd. It seems weird to me. That's the bit that made me go,
I agree with you. It's not beyond the realms of imagination for me, but I agree with you. It does seem a little bit... The rest of that stuff is very launch lineup, isn't it? Some shooter...
Gran Turismo, yeah.
Some racing game. I'm surprised there's not a boxing game on there or a basketball game.
There's not been a good boxing game in years, mate. So please don't. All right. Listen, if EA, you can hear me, I'll trade you Skate for Fight Night. One of them two would be good. Just make an effort, you fucking.
That's fair, I think. That's fair. So that's some PS5 stuff. I mean, what are you? The logo as well is just
that is fucking incredible.
It's hilarious.
The logo is amazing.
It's unchanged since 1994.
The video was so funny.
The video of someone remaking it.
No, of Jim Ryan, the CEO of PlayStation, coming out at the CES show and proper bigging it up.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Here we go," and just the same logo for 5.
It was like a 4-hour thing. If you queued up for that, it was like a 4-hour experience to see.
They were loving it in the audience.
I can't believe that happened. That is such a fucking joke.
But I mean, it's it's silly, isn't it?
Imagine if Nintendo was just a Nintendo logo again, but they changed the O to pink or something. No, that's too big. That's still too big, Yeah. There's no words to describe how stupid that is. So that
to be fair, they should have just not. I fully accept that that's what the PlayStation logo is. I'm never going to think about it again. That's just what it is. You don't need to unveil it. You just need to.
But it's just so weird. It doesn't make any sense. Phil Spencer comes out, and I know that he's really trying to impress everybody. And he's like, "Look, here's the Xbox Series X." He shows it off. It looks cool. I like how it looks like. I think it would look nice. But then they did a stupid PS5 reveal, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So if it is Feb 5th, yeah, fair enough, because I just want as much information as I can right now. Let me start building this excitement.
Exactly.
So I feel a lot better about spending holiday money on another box under my telly.
Well,
please.
It's a lot of money, isn't it? But it's that time of year where you can be like, well, just this basically Christmas money is my birthday money as well. That time of year, so I can just be like, just don't get me anything for my birthday and Christmas, and I'll just get this.
True. If we were talking just before about possibly going to EGX,
yeah,
I'll be going 100%, but you guys as well, and that's in October.
Yeah.
And if it launches in October, then that will be interesting.
There will be some PS5 stuff going on, you'd hope, right?
Yeah.
You'd hope so, yeah.
Sony have a big stall there every time, so yeah.
Yeah. So that was a pretty significant little leak thing there. So let's do the new games before we wrap up. New games for this coming week. Jake already knows 2 of them.
It might not.
Well, I've got 2 here. Maybe it's the same. Maybe it's
I know.
not.
Well, one's a DLC technically.
Right. So let me hit you with these 2. The Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners is coming to VR on PC. January the 23rd. So this is the first Walking Dead VR game, survival horror. It's going to come to PSVR and Oculus Quest later on.
I fucking hate when games are VR. Remember when I found out about Medal of Honor? I was like, oh,
I'm wearing an Oculus hoodie for some reason.
Fucking, I couldn't get less.
That wasn't your accent then. That's how hungry you are. You've changed your accent.
Medal of Honor, and then find out it's in VR. It's like it's all over again.
Yeah, I'm not interested in Walking Dead anyway, but maybe someone out there has gone, I've been waiting for a Walking Dead game on VR.
I know that there are some VR, masters out there.
Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Worked really well in VR. That's a survival horror.
Yeah.
And then after that, we've got Oddworld Stranger's Wrath HD, which is coming to Nintendo Switch on January the 23rd.
I mean, that's a good
also.
game.
It's alright, yeah. We saw 3 years ago, a trailer for Oddworld Soulstorm. Remember that at EGX?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Still being made.
What are you doing this for? Do you know what I mean? That's 0%.
What you got for me then, mate?
Right. Legends of Runeterra, mate. I'm telling you now. Open beta starts on Friday.
Yeah.
But I can play it on Thursday because I got it in early the first time anyway. Man.
What is it?
Card game made by Riot Games, the people that make League of Legends. Hearthstone's in a bad place. Magic the Gathering failed to launch properly. They've just done some new stuff for it. It's not picking up the player base it wants.
Yeah.
There was another one made by Valve, but no one remembers it.
Agreed.
Artifact.
Liam.
I only remember.
Liam struggled though. Liam hesitated, which is everyone else's
because
fault.
they had that reveal video where they said Artifact, a Dota card game, and the crowd collectively groaned.
Yeah, it was that. So remember that. But Runeterra, I've got a good feeling about this one. And
yeah,
this
you have been excited, haven't you?
Yeah, so you can count on the
Did you have any more?
U-turn Kulkovsky's report. No, I played this one. I've played it, and it was the most cruel thing ever because I played it. I got dead into it. And then I heard that it finished on Tuesday. On a Monday night, I worked. As soon as work was finished, I thought, I'll have a quick game. The beta would close, and I was like pining for more.
What?
I had a hunger for it because it was in like a closed beta when I played it.
Right.
And now open beta starts, and open beta. This is why it's exciting because open beta now starts all the way through to launch. So
okay.
So first of all, there's that.
Yeah.
Second of all, there's like ranked, and you've got friends list. So it's like a fully fledged one. Whereas when I played it in closed beta, there wasn't friends list, there wasn't ranked. So I'm ready. I am so fucking ready to dive in. And the other one is Temtem, isn't it? It's in early access.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your one?
It was one of them, yeah. So
what is this?
Temtem is a Pokemon-like game, but with MMO elements in it instead, and it's on the PC.
Is one of them elements other people?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's more like Destiny MMO type stuff.
All right.
Where you see people wandering around, but you can just ignore them completely.
Yeah,
if you
sure.
want.
Okay.
You don't have to interact with them at all.
Yeah, great.
And yeah, so it's like it's meant to be a challenger to Pokemon, do something a bit fresh, a bit different, and well, we'll see. Because
what are they doing that's fresh and different?
Well, they don't have Pokemon in it, do
well,
they?
it's not
They got
Pokemon.
Temtem.
They got Temtem, yeah.
Temtem.
Remember Digimon? A bit like that.
Well, it's stuff like so
Everyone remembers that now, don't they?
all battles in it are like 2-on-2 usually,
Okay.
instead of just 1v1.
Temtem, innit?
Temtem.
It's not the Tem. Yeah, sick.
It's like it's hard to describe what it is because it's not. People don't really know a lot about it all that much.
Yeah.
I
They've
certainly
only
didn't.
really kicked off the
Wasn't on my
marketing.
list, was it,
The
mate?
mystery of Temtem.
Well, it goes into Steam Early Access tomorrow, but by the time this podcast is out, it'll be this day.
Yeah.
This very day.
2 days.
Hours away.
Hours away, yeah. And so that's going into Steam Early Access. I think it's in alpha
Right.
first,
Yeah.
so it's not like beta or anything. And the only other thing out this week I was interested in was the Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC, which is out on Thursday.
What's going to be in that?
So they've got an added story chapter. They've put back some of the Final Fantasy characters into Kingdom Hearts because they were weirdly absent from the Kingdom Hearts 3 vanilla
So
game.
out some licenses deals in the corporate
Maybe,
offices.
yeah, they've sorted some stuff out now.
Right.
Some more story cutscenes, some new weapons, some new like ultimate boss fight challenge stuff.
Right.
It's just like an enhanced pack, really.
Yeah.
That they sort of like want you to replay the game again.
Yeah.
With this like DLC because it adds in more story cutscenes. And
Will you?
maybe, I don't know. I'll wait and see first. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it straight away.
Best kind of DLC to my mind, though. If it's like you've played, I always go to XCOM because it's like the DLC wasn't just like now go to this other area for a little bit. It was like the whole game has had new details littered in all the way through. New weapons, new characters,
Final
new
Fantasy
environments.
15 did a good job of it. I think Liam, you played.
Yeah.
So there are examples of it in a JRPG
And
sense
working
as well.
yeah.
Cool. So those are the new games. Thanks everyone for the emails. DSPecialmoves@gmail.com. Thanks everyone for supporting us on Patreon. We have recorded a bonus podcast before this one already. So
It's about a lot of films.
Yeah, it was about some films, about some TV documentaries, bit of Louis Theroux in there. Yeah. So if you're a patron,
Louis Theroux and prostitutes. If that doesn't get you involved,
exactly. Check that out if you're a patron. That's coming up in the next few days. Thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you next week.
Soon.
Bye.